de la persona más importante que está aquí en esta audiencia. Yo sé que cada uno de ustedes son importantes, pero sin duda esta es la más importante. Pero por mucho, mi madre, doña Perla. Ella se levantó, como acostumbra hacerlo, a las 3 de la mañana para llegar aquí a Colombia. Así que gracias. Thank you so much. And welcome to the People's House. This is the People's House. The People's House belongs to everybody. Esto le pertenece a cada uno de ustedes. A cada uno de ustedes. Sin excepción de nadie. La grandeza de nosotros es nuestra habilidad, fuera de la política dominicana, fuera de las controversias regionales, fuera incluso de las diferencias de opiniones, la habilidad nuestra de unirnos es lo que nos hace fuertes, de unirnos. Y tenemos que tratar todos los días de esforzarnos a poder desarrollar una voz colectiva que sea nuestra voz, la de la diáspora, que sea auténtica. Auténtica porque nace desde el vientre de lo que es la emigración. Y el tema de la emigración es un tema que se está debatiendo ahora. Y muchos de nosotros, yo oigo en las calles, que se han olvidado de dónde venimos. Y se han olvidado de quiénes fuimos y esencialmente de quiénes todavía somos. Y se han olvidado que esta nación nos dio a nosotros grandes beneficios y grandes subsidios. Y yo se lo puedo enumerar uno por uno. Sección 8, Medicaid, Medicare, todo eso nos lo entregó esta nación. La renta controlada, la renta estabilizada, los cheques de estímulo, los cupones de alimentos, el Child Tax Credit, $3,500 para cada niño menor de 5 años, las vacunas durante la pandemia, la inversión en los hospitales y en las clínicas, todo eso nos ha brindado la nación a nosotros. Y nadie más que nuestra comunidad ha sido beneficiada de todo eso. Y sería algo infrahumano negarle a otro lo que nos han beneficiado a nosotros. Porque se lo va a juzgar en el futuro, no simplemente por la cuenta de banco que uno tenga, no simplemente por el grado universitario que uno pueda adquirir, sino cómo nosotros tratamos los que llegaron después que nosotros. Así que tomen eso en cuenta todos los días. Esto, hace un tiempo que yo conocí un niño que vino aquí como inmigrante, como todos nosotros. Y llegó aquí mismo al Capitolio y fue a la tienda de souvenirs y compró un busto del presidente John Fitzgerald Kennedy. Ese niño se sintió mal ese día y en el baño se le quedó el busto de John Fitzgerald Kennedy, que fue el presidente más joven electo y el primero católico y el primero irlandés. Y ese niño volvió sin el busto a su casa. Yo lo conozco también porque ese niño fui yo. Entonces, me decidí a volver 50 años más tarde como congresista de los Estados Unidos. Y déjenme decirle que esto de nuevo, antes de presentar el próximo orador e irme a votar, esto le pertenece a todo el mundo. No solo a los ricos, que a lo mejor llegaron aquí en primera clase, pero a los que se levantaron, como mi madre, a las 3 de la mañana, para coger un autobús y llegar aquí a tiempo. Esto no solamente le pertenece a los universitarios, pero también a las madres y los padres que trabajaron largas horas para que sus hijos fueran a la universidad. Esto nos pertenece a los peloteros, a los artistas, a los científicos, a los merengueros, a los bachateros, es más, hasta a los urbanos, que vienen de un mundo que es una realidad. Los urbanos vienen de un mundo que es una realidad y no podemos jugar el juego del avestruz, escondiendo nuestra cabeza en la arena, pensando que no existe. Existe, y lo vamos a escuchar a ellos también. Lo tenemos que escuchar. Porque lo hablan definitivamente y desafortunadamente a través de la violencia. Nos hablan a nosotros a través del uso del consumo de la droga. Nos hablan a nosotros a veces con letras que no son cómodas para nosotros. Pero nos hablan y no podemos rechazarlo, ¿no? Tenemos que escucharlo. Tenemos que escucharlo. Ya concluí porque ya me dieron un mensaje que tengo que ir a votar, diciéndole que gracias por estar aquí. Esta es su casa de todos y cada uno de ustedes. This is your house to each and every one of you. Thank you for being here. I hope you have a wonderful day. Con eso, le presento al neoyorquino, al mayimbe, al mandamás, al presidente del Senado de los Estados Unidos, el senador Chuck Schumer.
¡Viva! ¡Viva la República Dominicana! ¡Viva Adriano Espaillat! ¡Viva la bandera dominicana República! ¡Viva la bandera! And don't let them make you take it down. We love it. Anyway, it's great to be here today. And let me just say that I got the wrong notes here, folks. 6th annual Dominicans on the Hill. Every year there are more and more people, and it shows the power, the strength, the importance of the Dominican community. And let me wish you all a happy Dominican Heritage Month. Now it's great to see, we are proud. We have more Dominicans in New York than any other place but the Republic. How many of you are from New York? We like you in whatever state you're in, but move to New York. And I'm so proud that New York is the largest, most diverse, and most vibrant Dominican community in the nation. I am sure many of you have seen me dancing the bachata down 6th Avenue. In a sea of red, white, and blue at the parade every year, and that parade is now one of the very biggest, not only in New York, but in America. It shows you the strength of this community. And one of the reasons I love this event so much is because it's a chance to celebrate La Comunidad Dominicana, all the wonderful things you have done for our country. I push immigration reform very hard. We've got some people who don't want to do it. They don't understand that immigrants are our future. And when someone asks me, why do you push so hard for immigration, and particularly immigration for the Dominican Republic? I say, I love New York, and the more Dominicans there are in New York, the better we are. Now, there's another reason I love this event so much. Your host, the first Dominican American ever elected to Congress, mi hermano, Congressman Adriano Espaillat. Beautiful American story that so many others mirror. He came here at 9 years old from the DR, grew up during the Civil Rights Movement, dedicated his life, and I knew him way back when, before he was an elected official, but a community leader, but he dedicated his life to fighting for immigrants, for his constituents, for the great Dominican American community. And whenever Adriano calls me about an issue, we probably talk at least once a day, seriously, because we're seeking advice on how to do things in the House and Senate, and we have things we want to do for his community and for New York. And so whenever he calls, I pick up the phone and we work together, and that is great. Now, I know today's theme is a beautiful theme, Dominicans breaking barriers. The more barriers you break, not only better off your community is, but better off America is. That's our history. And we're not going to let those nasty people who have turned on immigrants prevail. We are going to beat them. We are going to fight them. We are going to win. And here are some of the things that Adriano and I are doing. There are so many, I could stay here all afternoon. But one of the most important, every day, Adriano would call me, for those of you who live in East Harlem and in northern Manhattan. What about the 2nd Avenue subway, the long-promised 2nd Avenue subway? When they first built it, they stopped it at 96th Street. Place of more well-to-do white New Yorkers. What about the rest of New York? So I promised Adriano that if I got to be majority leader, and by the way, I'm the first majority leader ever from New York, and muchas gracias. I am the first senator ever from New York to be elected to his 5th term. So thank you for that. Well, I told Adriano if I became, God willing, majority leader, we would get that 2nd Avenue subway done. And I am happy to announce that we have gotten $3.4 billion, and that subway is now going to be built. You all know that with that subway, people from East Harlem and the northern Manhattan who have tremendous talent, but could not get to work on time. It would take 2 hours to get to work. If you had to raise a family or you had other responsibilities, you couldn't. So it's going to open tremendous job opportunities downtown for people. It's going to help people to go to the doctor's office and help people to get to school and much, much more. And the 2nd Avenue subway will deliver tens of thousands of good-paying jobs. And we wrote in the law that many of those new jobs should come from local people in East Harlem, people of color, who never got these good-paying construction jobs before. That's going to be a very big thing. While we're talking in subways, the East Bronx, where many Dominicans live, has been a desert. And we're now building a new subway line, a new Metro North line, all across the East Bronx, going all the way up into Westchester. It will go right into Penn Station. So that's another place we are connecting the community. Housing, so important. Working together, we passed legislation to keep funding developments in East Harlem and across New York City. Over the last 3 years, we have dropped Latino unemployment to record lows. We've gotten more Latinos enrolled in health insurance than ever before. And one of the things I'm proudest of So many of our people, particularly the elderly, have diabetes. And you know, when diabetes was invented, the inventor was a very generous man. He sold the patent for $1. But the drug companies have found ways around it. And it would cost people hundreds of dollars a month to get that insulin, which their lives depended on. Well, we passed the law last year. No one on Medicare will pay more than $35 a month for insulin, and they can get that insulin for the rest of their lives that way. Another thing we've done on prescription drugs, very important. A mom came to me and she said, my child has cancer. There's a drug that can save him. But it costs $800 a month, and the insurance company said they won't pay for it. I'm going to have to watch my son languish away because I can't afford that drug which would save his life. We have now passed a law that no one on Medicare will pay more than $2,000 total a year for all the drugs they buy. That mom will be able to save her child. That's amazing. We also are passing a law that finally the drug companies have to negotiate with Medicare, and that's going to bring the price of drugs way down. We have the 10 of the most widely used drugs. That's going to start happening in a few months. Another issue. So many Latinos go to college for the first time. And yet, when they get out of college, they have this huge anchor around their ankles. It's called student debt. It's a huge burden. People delay getting the job they want, getting married, having a family, doing all kinds, buying a car that gets them to work because of this huge burden of debt. Well, I have fought, along with Adriano and many others, we have fought very hard to reduce that debt. Now 4 million people have just been taken off and will pay no debt. Another many millions will only pay half their debt. We are not going to rest till we end all student debt and get that burden off to us. With another great member of Congress, we are now getting this Cross Bronx Expressway covered. It's caused so much pollution throughout the Bronx. And I have worked with your congressional delegation very, very, very hard to make sure that that's going to happen. And one of the other things I'm proud of is this. Judges. As you know, federal judges have tremendous power over our lives. For too long, they were almost exclusively white males from big fancy law firms. As majority leader with the power to put judges on the floor, I have changed that. I am happy to tell you now, folks, ladies, we set a record of new judges, and they're progressive judges. They're immigration lawyers, they're consumer advocates, they're legal aid attorneys. But now, 2/3 of the judges, the new judges, over 160 we have chosen, are women. 2/3 are people of color. 32 new Latino judges on record for a single term. 18 of whom are Latinas. Mary Perez in the Second Circuit, Ramon Reyes, Hector Gonzalez, Vernon Broderick, Gelson Moman, and the first judge I ever appointed when I first became senator was Victor Monero.